Hello again. Welcome to part 2 of Kazzart Answers Questions. Okay, I am going to set the timer again for 10 minutes. And there we go. Okay, well, let's jump right into it, shall we? And, okay, MikeSkullman, hello, asks, where else have you travelled in the world apart from Europe? Okay, a few places. My parents like to, take us on holidays to go and see different parts of the world. Yeah, as me and my brother were growing up as kids. So, if I can remember, I'm not sure if I can remember all of them, but obviously Australia, where I grew up. In Australia, I've travelled to various parts of New South Wales, up the coast, down the coast. Australia is a very big place, as you know, and other states, Victoria. I've been to Melbourne and some, along the south coast of Victoria to the 12 Apostles. That really beautiful drive there. Queensland, the Gold Coast, Brisbane, the Sunshine Coast, I've been there, the Great Barrier Reef, so I've been up to Cairns and North Queensland, that area. I haven't been to Western Australia or Northern Territories yet. I haven't been to Ayers Rock, and I haven't been to South Australia or Tasmania. Okay, where else have I been? I've been to New Zealand. I've been to the States when I was quite young. This was like in '86, so my memory's a bit hazy about my visit there with my family. But I do remember visiting Los Angeles, San Francisco, went to Disneyland and Disney World and Epcot Center, Florida. And I think we went to some national parks like Yosemite National Park, I think. We didn't go to New York. We must have gone other places, but I just can't remember. Hawaii, that was part of that trip on the way there. I've been to Asia, so Hong Kong, China. I can't remember which areas of China. The major cities, Beijing and Shanghai, and the great, somewhere along the way, the Great Wall of China. I've been to Thailand as well, Bangkok, Chiang Mai and Phuket. What else? And UK and Scotland and Europe. Paris, France, Italy, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Netherlands, Belgium. Yeah. So there you have it. Okay. Aquilus5, is that how you say your name? Okay, he asks, what kind of improvements would you like to do with your videos? Now that's a tough question. Where do I start? There are so many things that I could do to improve my videos. For a start, I'd like to edit them better, or be able to edit them better. And, whilst I was at that, I'd like to spend less time editing them. What else? With the editing thing, I've seen other people's videos and they just look more smooth and professional, so I'd like to improve that if I could. I'd like to be more creative with my ideas in, video editing, as well as just the whole concept of whatever video that I make. There are a lot of really creative videos out there, and you know, I really don't think my videos are very interesting sometimes. They're really quite boring. And I could do so much better with them, or someone else could do so much better with them because, well, I'm doing what I do. I wouldn't mind like experimenting with, you know, a bit of animation with, you know, text and, you know, stuff like that, but that's probably like beyond the amount of effort and time I'm willing to put into this. It would probably be good if I was, you know, better at presenting or speaking on camera. There are a lot of, you know, very natural speakers out there, and I've never really been a very natural speaker. Although I am improving, and I'm getting used to speaking to a camera. So yeah, that could still do with improvement. My videos could be shorter, as evident by these K.A.Q videos. Yeah, so that's basically the gist of it. Okay, moving right along, let's answer another one. BlackenedRoseThorn, hello. He asks, what is your most pleasant memory regarding a holiday or vacation? I think there are a few. I'll try and narrow them down to maybe two, if I may. This is a tough one because, you know, the holidays that are freshest in my memory are obviously the more recent ones. I'm sure I've had some really, really awesome holidays when I was younger, but I can't really remember them. So, you know, just what I can think of now. Off the top of my head, I think the most pleasant memory of a holiday would be my first trip to Italy. My first, you know, trip, driving holiday in Italy, which was in September last year. Yeah, that was the first time both myself and K.A.Q had ever driven in Italy. We hired a convertible and we got upgraded to an even better convertible. It was a 7-day trip where we basically just had a taster of basically each major city in northern Italy, going only as far as Rome. And the weather was absolutely beautiful. It was warm, sunny. It was my first time experiencing real Italy, and we were just so excited about that holiday, and it was just such a happy time for us. It was so much fun. It was just such a great experience. Discovering all these, you know, the things that I love about Italy now, and the things that draw me back to Italy now. Yeah, I discovered them in that trip, so that stands out for me. Another happy memory, which you know, comes up quite a lot for me, is my first trip to Frankfurt. When K.A.Q, you know, as I mentioned in my last video, K.A.Q and me started going out. He moved to Frankfurt for 6 months for a contract job, and within 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks of him moving there, I went to visit him for a weekend. So this was in July, in the height of summer. It was my first time to Europe, like the continent. It was my first time to Germany, and I just remember being amazed by how different everything was, and just how European and cool, and just, yeah, that was a really cool experience. And you know, again, the weather was beautiful. I was spending time with K.A.Q, my new boyfriend that I hadn't seen for 2 weeks. And one particular memory stands out for me here, was on Sunday afternoon, just before I was to catch my flight back that evening, back to London. We took a ride around the streets of Frankfurt, you know, where he lived, in Südbahnhof, for those who know Frankfurt, and on his bicycle that he had, you know, bought recently from the market. And I didn't have a bicycle, so basically I rode on the back of his bicycle along, you know, these streets where, you know, cars were driving and everything, and it was really cool. You know, it was a beautiful day. The weather was perfect. and we were just being crazy riding on the same bicycle down, you know, the streets in Frankfurt. And there goes 10 minutes, just like that. Alright, so I hope that answers your question. I only answered 3 questions. Sorry. I only answered 3 questions this time as opposed to 4 questions I answered last video. So stay tuned for part 3 of Kazzart Answers Questions. Ciao. Oh.